Hi, Genesis Dad here. I want to talk about something I've talked about in the past, but I'll reiterate this so much because it has grave importance. It has to do with social media. Social media is continuously toxic, and now more than ever, it's becoming a place of freedom of speech because that's an amendment of the Constitution. The First Amendment is freedom of speech. What are all these people doing here? So, the thing is that, yes, people should be entitled to freedom of speech upholding the Constitution. However, that shouldn't include lies, and it also shouldn't include bullying, which is also called cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is equivalent to bullying somebody in real life. What's actually worse, because now you're not even presenting yourself as who you are, you're hiding behind a keyboard where you feel safe, whether it's in your own home or your mom's home or your dad's home, whatever. So I would say about 90 to 95% of the people that mock, bully, insult, degrade other people are people that don't even put their real names and don't even use real photos. So there's no type of order in social media. And one of the worst in that case is Twitter, because Twitter, you're allowed any name, you're allowed any photo, and you can almost say anything that you want. Now they claim that they don't allow not discrimination, it's pretty much racism. I forgot the word for it, but anti-Semitism. So they say they don't allow anti-Semitism, but they allow the freedom to express religion, which includes anti-Semitism. So then you have tweets about how bad Jewish people are in Israel, etc. And then you have vice versa, people saying how bad Gaza is and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. So spreading misinformation and lies is very detrimental. Now, Twitter has a thing called community notes, but the time that the community notes is activated versus seeing it is delayed. So what you see, you might believe. And another thing is there's a lot of accounts that are very political, that are allegiance to a specific party and bias to a specific party. So they'll say bad things about another party and you don't know if they're real or not. So that's the problem with social media. Again, social media has become this profound thing of instantaneous messaging, that you can post something and everybody in the entire world can see it instantaneously. That is extremely, extremely dangerous. So that's why it's never good to, take provocative photos or send people things, because they can post it somewhere else and you'll be everywhere. So you have to protect yourself. And if you ever want a social media account one day, it will have to be managed and ran by me, and the communication on it will be at a limited. It's just, if I could see, I have to use social media for my work, but I don't use social media for anything other than family oriented or very close friends, where a lot of people are on it and reading things, and again, you don't know what's real or fake. It's such a dangerous place to be. And it's not even about like somebody's gonna hurt you or murder you or whatever, which it is still plausible, because you can post something on social media. And there was a situation in 2021. There was a black gentleman who apparently, it was reported, so I have to say it's the truth, was asphyxiated by a police officer by putting his knee on his neck. And this started a whole uproar about how black lives are endangered by police officers and how Black Lives Matter. But it was a whole situation that kind of took away from everybody else that was suffering or going through anti-Semitism and stuff like that. It wasn't only black people that have to deal with racism. There's Hispanics and Latinos that have to deal with Americans who are racial against them. You have Indian cultures, you have Jewish cultures, Asian cultures. Every culture deals with a form of racism. So no, black lives were not more endangered than anybody else's lives, because everybody else's lives are equally in danger. And that's just how it is. And now you had a president who's now going to be the president tomorrow, that is the most controversial president in American history. You have so many people that love, cherish, and I'm not supposed to love, cherish, and devote their life to him, and literally worship the guy like he's a god. And then you have people that despise and hate him, and then you have people in the middle where I'm like, look, I don't really like the guy, but I don't hate the guy. But you know, it's just crazy how many people are obsessed with things. And now you had, you know, he was previously shot at but not killed, and anybody who made a statement like, oh damn, they missed, got in back in the days when I was telling you about the black guy who's killed, they tried to cancel anybody who was they call them liberals or hard liberals, whatever you want to say. They tried to cancel anybody who didn't support this movement of Black Lives Matter. So now, and vice versa, the conservative Republicans are like, oh, you wanted the previous president to get shot, okay, we're gonna run your business down to the ground and get you fired. So that was their rebuttal. But two wrongs don't make a right, first of all. And second of all, if somebody says, first of all, Republicans and conservatives are very into free speech. And if you're into free speech, then you can say what you want, just like you can bully anybody else. So if you say, oh, damn, they missed, why is that a problem? Because you're the one who endorses free speech. So it's a whole mess, and it's best to stay away from it, because it can get you killed, it can get you murdered, and it can lead to depression, suicide, and even worse. So don't ever get involved in it, unless it's essential for your business to thrive. Then that's a different story. But other than that, it's not important. If you have friends in school that are like bragging about social media and blah blah this and blah blah that, it's completely irrelevant, it's completely worthless, it's completely a waste of time, and it hurts your sanity and your mental health. So it's best to avoid it at all costs. I promise you that. You will be a lot happier in life. And literally seeing everybody else's lives and what they're doing is not important. It's not going to help you better your life or anything like that. You need to focus on yourself and your life and be the best version of yourself, and not get enticed by other people's life or lifestyles, because realistically anybody can post anything to make themselves look good. I can make a post and go to a shelter taking care of dogs and say, I just donated $2 million to this shelter. Everybody's like, oh my god, he's such a good person. But I just lied to everybody. I just said I did it to make myself look better and feel better, but realistically I didn't. And people are pathological liars, and it's very easy for them to do and get away with, because that's just what they're capable of doing. Somebody could blatantly, straight up just lie to your face, and you wouldn't even know they're lying. That's how good they are at it. And it's almost like called a serial liar. So I hope you enjoy this video, Genesis. I got you, and I will always do my best to protect you as best as possible. See you in the next one.